Welcome back, sports gamers. It's the natural. We have a title update for Madden 22, and this is supposed to be the big franchise update. Yeah, of course, on the gameplay side, we'll get to the franchise. But on the gameplay side, I got some general stability fixes. Issue with the play art taking too long, flipping a play, and fixed the red route wide receiver screen issue that was causing defenders to crash and attack the quarterback. So he left the pocket. That is fixed. But on to the franchise update. I was gonna put these in quotations because giving you guys some backstory. We had breaking news a couple months ago that pretty much the additional franchise updates weren't coming out. EA came out and said, you know, from our sources, they did not have plans to release additional franchise updates of new features and improvements to franchise mode that we were promised. So like, no, we still got franchise updates coming. So these are the last one came out previously, was light on pretty much any additions, and this one is scenarios. So the final franchise update for Madden are scenarios to the scenario engine and increased tier bonuses for scouting. And they fixed the draft issue where users were unable to select a player on their turn for solo and multiplayer franchise leagues. So that is your franchise update. And also they have some goals. They have some goals updates. They added 30 points or more head coach goal, hold opponent under 17 points, head coach goal, 2 offensive touchdowns, offensive coordinator goal, added score 21 points or more, offensive coordinator goal, added get 2 turnovers, defensive goal, and allow 275 passing yards or less, defensive goal. And that's it. Now let's get into the scenarios, which I actually do like the scenarios, and I spoke about this in our previous video that they could do so much more to scenario engine, and these are the type of things that I'm talking about, like interesting things during the week that you don't know when that week advances what's happening. I like, something popping up, chatting with the coach, chatting with the media, chatting with your players, locker room things going on. Like it helps immerse you in your franchise, and the scenario updates is a way to do that. So let's get into those scenario updates, which I actually do like, but I still would not consider this a franchise update. It's just some adding additional things. I don't know. I guess literally that's called an update, but this is such light on content. We were expecting features, major improvements, and we just didn't get that. But let's get into the scenario updates. You have an X Factor hot streak one. Scenario occurs when facing an X Factor defender coming off a big game the previous week. Depending on the position of that player, you'll be tasked with slowing them down in different statistical categories to extinguish the fire. To make things more challenging, when the scenario occurs, the players will start the game with their X Factor activated, meaning you need to direct attention to them immediately and risk them wrecking your game early. But if you manage to keep them in check, you'll be able to earn rewards that can be anything from XP to temporary boosts as well as staff points. So they did have one a scenario where the player is supposed to start with the X Factor, had a hot week and caught fire, but it didn't even work. Like literally, I got the notification, and then that coming week, he didn't start the game with X Factor. So it's not even guaranteed that these scenarios that are supposed to work how they're supposed to, or like the fact that if you don't click on anything, it doesn't activate. Like if you have a player that's retiring, and I showed this in a previous video, if you don't click on it, he won't retire. And the same thing with weather. If you have a weather, snow, blizzard game, if both players, and this is the online franchise, if you don't click on that, it'll be a sunny day. So the scenarios have to mean something. They actually have to happen for it to be a scenario. Let's go to the next one, Team Turmoil. The Team Turmoil scenario emulates growing frustrations between a thriving offense and a struggling defense. If you find yourself in a losing streak with one of the league's best offenses while also fielding one of the league's lowest ranking defenses, you may find yourself at the crossroads of having to answer questions about the divide in the locker room. This will provide your defense with opportunity to step up and quell some of the frustration in the locker room, but beware, as another poor performance from the defense could send the whole team spiraling looking for answers. That's interesting. Really interested to see like what does that mean when spiraling looking for answers? Are there going to be some big drops in morale for both sides, offense and defense, specific players, or how that play out? Because I know And some other like the worst scenario you ever want to lose is you're the big favorite coming in, and then you lose to the underdog, which that happened to me in a one of my games got simmed, and we lost to the team we're supposed to lose to. The morale, it tanked my team's morale for the entire season. Like, I had a winning record. I think I was like 8-0 or something versus the 1-17 or whatever. And I lost in the sim. Literally, it was like negative like 50 morale. It was like some huge number that took me the entire season to recover from, which was super frustrating. Which is way overboard on that. Unstoppable force. How do you stop the vaunted unstoppable force? That's what you'll be tasked with tackling when you face one of the league's best offenses coming off a strong performance in their previous game. Formulate a game plan around creating constant pressures, stuffing the run, or creating turnovers to take that challenge. Your game that week for the opportunity to provide your defense with a momentum boost going forward. Okay. Interesting. Weak link. The weak link scenario fires when your team has made the playoff despite fielding one of the league's worst defensive units. So this one is one that's going to the playoffs. Interesting. The media will question you not only for your ability to make a deep playoff run, but also your ability to even win a playoff game. Wow. Similar to the unstoppable force scenario, you'll be tasked with how you need your defense to step up that week based upon the results of the game. You have the opportunity to build momentum to help you make a Super Bowl run. So add an additional boost there on that. That'll be an interesting one. Bye week. Oh, good. Finally, something to do. Something going on during the bye week besides the same one, rest or not rest. It's just, yeah, I'm glad they needed to add more. Like, give you something to do during your bye week. So let's see. We updated our bye week scenario from text messages to modular cinematics with all new choices and impacts. Okay. During the bye week, you'll be asked how your team is handling the week off. You'll be posed with choices of taking a team bonding retreat to build team chemistry or self-scout. It's the same. Oh, it's the same thing. Wait, it's rest or practice or work. Okay, let me finish. You'll be posed with choices of taking a team bonding retreat to build team chemistry, self-scouting to identify weaknesses to correct coming out of the bye, or continue to grind through the week to help with the development of your players. Each choice comes with a different positive or negative effect as a coach. It's on you whether to decide your team needs and how to put them in the best position to succeed in the stretch of the season. So they added a different option. Before it was like rest or practice. Now it's rest, practice, and self-scouting. So, I mean, I'll never, be upset about getting something more, but I expected more than that. It's really the same thing. They just add an extra option of self-scouting to identify weaknesses, which whatever comes to that, I have to go through some of these to try to. Some of these are, you have to try to set up the scenario to trigger these. But yeah, that bye week one, I'm gonna check that one out to see like how much it really. It sounds like they just added a cinematic and one more choice in that. So, yeah, this is and pretty much the same thing for the last gen stuff. This is your last franchise update for Madden 22. Of course, make sure you guys check out the Madden 23 leak that we have on the channel. I'm gonna come out with an additional video breaking those new Madden 23 features down even more. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and stay tuned to SGO. I will catch you guys in the next video. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How you feel about how these updates have gone this year. If you appreciate our content and all the work we do to bring you guys the latest news, tips, and gameplay from your favorite sports games, drop a like, subscribe, SGO today. You want to take your game to the next level? Then join SGO Insider.